Before we get into this video, guys, I just want to thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for 10,000 subscribers. I think it was about a month ago I had 400, so like to think we hit this number that fast is absolutely insane, which is why I'm making this video, to kind of repay you guys a little bit. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my classes, settings, keybinds, all that stuff. I get asked probably over 10 times a day what sensitivity I'm using, so I'm going to cover everything in this video, so anytime anyone asks again, I can just link them back to this. Alright, so starting with my classes, I pretty much use the same perks in like secondary and lethals and tacticals on everything. I always run a combat knife, pretty much these perks here, semtex and stims. Stims obviously for stim rushing. So yeah, I'm just going to run through all my classes quick, and here they are. It's my MP7 class. Uzi. Fire shotgun, but don't use this if you're not a piece of shit. It's my RAM class, a lot of you have been asking for. Also don't use this, but sometimes you gotta bust it out, you know. I threw this FAL together quick. This class really is, it's alright, but yeah, I don't use this that much. Here's an M4 class. I really like the Viper reflex on this, it's pretty solid. Here's my MP5 class. I've pretty much been using this setup for the entire span of the game. This is one of the first classes that I actually put together. Here's a really good P90 class. And here is a sniping overkill class. I should have the operator grip on this MP5, by the way, but yeah, here's the AX50. I don't really like the short barrel on it because the bullet velocity is kind of trash, but yeah, this is what I have on that. So I'm gonna hop into a match here, and I'm gonna show you guys my settings and keybinds and all that stuff. We're getting to this, boys. By the way, I'm using my streaming setup right now with the hand cam and like the keyboard cam. If you'd like to check me out over on Twitch, you can find me at twitch.tv/strahfe. I just started streaming again, so yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys my settings first. I'm just gonna scroll down through them. I have a lot of stuff on default. My sensitivity, I use a range of like 14 to 18, just kind of depends how I'm feeling that day. Relative 1.0, and then this is different for everyone's monitor, but I'm using 1.77, and I think this is all default. Movement, I think tap is not default. I use automatic tack sprint. For my move backwards, this is kind of weird. I will explain that a bit here after these. I use key, I use C. For crouch and slide, I use two binds for that. I use left control as well as E. Weapons and equipment, this stuff is pretty much basic, I think. Kill streaks, this is kind of like the extra keys I didn't use. You can really put these to whatever, it doesn't really matter. This stuff I don't think is that important. Ping, I guess maybe I hit that with my thumb. Menus, this stuff isn't really important. My general settings, I play at max FOV, 65 brightness. All this should vary though on like which monitor you have in your monitor settings. Square minimap. And I like to see my frames up in the top left, so I have that on too. Alright, so my game crashed while I was filming that, but we're back. Okay, so for my graphics settings, full screen, I have a 240 Hz monitor, so that's why that's 240. Render res, I put that at 100. If you have a like less expensive PC, you could crank that down if you need more frames. I pretty much play with everything disabled or low except my textures, because I do make content and I do want the game to look decent. Pretty much everything on low and disabled. Shadow maps, I put that on normal. I have a little bit of anti-aliasing just to make the quality for you guys a little bit better. But yeah, nothing crazy here. Audio, this is going to differ for every person. I have boost high on. I think that's the best for footsteps, but push to talk V, none of this is really that important. Controller, I don't use controller, so yeah, that's that. Okay, so the first thing I'll talk about is just, I guess, basic movement. I already covered this in a previous video, but yeah, I'll just cover the basics real quick. So slide canceling, pretty much all of you probably know how to do this, but all it is slide, slide, jump, slide, slide, jump, slide, slide, jump. Nothing too complex there. Everyone should know how to do this at this point. Next thing I'll talk about is stim rushing. So what stim rushing does, you guys will see me pop stims at the beginning. All this does is it resets your tactical sprint so you can keep moving faster. pretty much have to get the timing down for different weapons with this, but you don't want to pop it right away. You want to pop it a little bit after you start. So you may be wondering why I'm using two slide binds. I'm using E as well as control. This is just for freedom of movement, and like this is huge for any FPS game. You never want to take your finger off of W, and you want to have as many different fingers hitting different keys as possible. I come from Fortnite, so to be top level in Fortnite, you pretty much have to have this as like a necessity to be good at that game. So yeah, I recommend you guys split up your keybinds and really try to use as many fingers as possible, instead of having just like 3 or 4 binds using like only your ring finger like this, for example. But yeah, I use my left pinky for shift and control. I use my thumb for spacebar and like push to talk in that. And then I use my right index finger for 3 and 4, which is my weapons, as well as E, which is my other slide bind, as well as reload. Now, a lot of you may be wondering why I use S on mouse button 4, and that kind of goes back to that whole freedom of movement thing I explained. So basically, I don't use S because it's pretty much a golden rule in any FPS game that you don't want to take your finger off of W like at any time. And so to really hit the S key, you pretty much have to use that middle finger that's on W, and you really never want to do that. So the reason why I use it is because I can just be moving fluidly, and I never have to take my finger off of W. And that way, when I do land, I can just transition into using W, and I don't have to, you know, take my finger off of it. So at the end of the day, it just makes the whole transition a lot cleaner, and I really love it for like anytime I'm going for like a backwards B hop like this. It just makes it a lot easier than having to take my finger off of S, or off of W, excuse me. Yeah, you can use S, like you can do it like this, but it just feels a lot better using mouse button 4 in my opinion. Next, I guess I'll go over B hopping. All B hopping is you just do like a strafe jump to the side, and you'll have to time the jump like that one right there. It's just a timing thing. You guys are gonna have to get the timing down, but right, let me get to a better spot. I can't really do it here. Yeah, so it's literally just a timing thing. You'll probably have to practice this, but you'll get used to it. All this does is it really makes you harder to hit whenever you're peeking around a corner like this. Say there's an enemy there, just B-hop. And yeah, it'll make you a lot harder to hit. A lot of you also probably want to know how I do this right here. All this is just spamming weapon swap. It's literally all it is. It's kind of just like a nervous habit I have. I guess you could compare it to like a double Y on controller. Yeah, it kind of looks cool, that's why I do it, and it just kind of keeps my finger ready, I guess. Also, if you're wondering how to improve your aim, I've already made an aim guide video. I'll have that link down in the description if you guys would like to check that out. Yeah, I pretty much touched up on everything you guys will need to be a good player. Slide canceling, stim rushing, all that kind of stuff. So, and by the way, not trying to throw shade to any other YouTubers out there, but just because you can spam slide cancel like this the entire round doesn't mean you have good movement. The whole purpose of good movement is to make you harder to hit, and spamming slide cancel like this to, I don't know, look cool, I guess is not really effective. Like I said, not to throw shade or anything, but I'm just trying to say that you guys don't have to spam slide cancel like this 24/7. That's not the purpose of it. But yeah, if you guys did find this helpful in any way, shape, or form, please drop a like. A lot of you have been asking for this, so yeah, this is hopefully a good explanation on why I use what I do. And I encourage all of you to try to change up your keybinds and see what works best for you. I do come from Fortnite, so a lot of the keybinds I'm already used to hitting. So Fortnite was huge in just helping me with getting used to new keybinds and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully it helps you out. And thanks again for 10K. I will see you guys in the next upload. Peace.